So, are you a talker or a doer? Or are you unsure of either? Like, do you talk about stuff that you are working on, projects that you're working on, dreams that you have? Or do you actually do things to make those dreams a reality? I'm actually here today because I've sort of been paying attention to, again, conversations that I have. Those are the sources and the inspiration for my videos, are conversations with clients, conversations with friends, family. Those are the sources of where I get my content for videos. And I found that I was running into a lot of people that were either talkers, so they talk about ideas that they had and things that they want to do, and would talk it out like if it was a blueprint that they were putting before me, and so I could actually envision and see what they were talking about. And then there were people who would not say anything and do. So they would, work on all these great things, but then never say anything about it. And it got me to think about, well, which one am I? Am I either of those things? Do I talk about projects that I'm working on, or do I just do them? And it sort of got me to be more introspective. I wanted to look at what I was doing. And so, funnily, I couldn't really decide if I was the talker or the doer. And so I started to look for different things, the evidence in my life that could show me either or. And I found that there were actually a lot of things that I did that I didn't talk about. And it was a light bulb moment for me, because I thought, well, if I'm not talking about them, how am I going to get to the next level? How am I going to grow my business? How am I going to get new clients if no one's learning about all these things that I'm doing? So my first evidence, actually, that I was a doer and not a talker, was my book. And it's always sitting on my desk, but I never talk about it as much as I should, I guess. And so if you're finding that you're in that same spiral where you're doing things and you're not telling anyone, or you're thinking, well, if I tell anyone, it's probably not going to come through, or we just give ourselves all these different excuses for why we don't want to talk about the great things that we've done, whether it's volunteering, or whether it's writing a book, or whatever it is that we're doing to make ourselves better, and not just ourselves, but something that's benefiting other people as well. It's really important to talk about it. Let people know what you're doing. It's this whole idea of networking, and once you start to do that and people start to see, hey, this person's doing some amazing things, then you never know what that can lead you to. You never know if it could lead you to your next big job, if it could lead you to a promotion, whether it could get you on another project, whether it could get you to work in another country. It's unbelievable. Really is what can happen for you once you start sharing not only what your dreams are, but some of the things that you have done to make those dreams reality. So what I want to leave with you is, it's good to be a talker, but it's also good to be a doer. I feel like you can't be one or the other, because if you are, then you're going to have challenges, or you're going to be stuck, and you're not going to move to where you really feel that is fitting for you. And then you'll think everyone is out to get you. And, that's not the reality at all. So I would say not to be less of a talker and more of a doer, or more of a doer and less of a talker. I would say there's a time when you're going to have to talk about what you're doing, and that's great. And then there's also a time when you're going to have to do. So if you find that you're doing one of the other more than, you're talking more than you're doing, or you're doing more than you're talking, then just scale back a little and come forward with the talking or come forward with the doing. You know yourself, right? You can work with a coach, you can work with a therapist, you can work with a business partner, but no one knows you more than you do. And all it is, you know, taking account for who you are and where you are, and then moving into that next level. So that's really all I have for you today, is